Isha Upanishad's 17 verses and their modern applications. Shruti versus Smriti, a tale of sacred transmission. The birth of Shruti, the unheard sound. Long before words were carved into palm leaves, long before voices were raised to explain right and wrong, there was simply sound, not the noise of nature or human speech, but a vibration deep within the universe itself. This was Shruti, that which is heard, yet not by ordinary ears. Divine revelation, directly perceived by rishis. The ancient sages, known as rishis, did not merely listen, they became one with the sound. It was said that in their deepest meditation, when the barriers of the mortal world faded away, they heard the voice of Brahman itself, the cosmic reality, speaking without words. This divine transmission became the Vedas, the Upanishads. But not all wisdom was received in silence. As the ages passed and human civilization expanded, people sought guidance, not only on the mysteries of existence but also on how to live, govern, and act. Thus emerged Smriti, that which is remembered. This was no divine whisper, it was the wisdom of human sages, who took the eternal truths of Shruti and wove them into stories, laws, and epic poetry. Maharshi Vyas, the revered compiler of the Mahabharata, shaped one of history's greatest narratives, embedding philosophy within war, duty, and love. Likewise, Valmiki crafted the Ramayana, teaching righteousness through the journey of Lord Rama. Where Shruti was absolute and eternal, Smriti was adaptive and evolving, molded by time yet always reflecting the truths of the universe. The survival of the Isha Upanishad, who heard it? Among the many Upanishads, the Isha Upanishad stands apart, concise, profound, like a cosmic command wrapped in poetry. But who first heard it? It was embedded within the Shukla Yajurveda, meaning its teachings had existed long before written records. Some say the Rishi Yajnavalkya, in defiance of conventional learning, received direct knowledge from the sun god, Aditya, bypassing human instruction entirely. This transmission, pure and undistorted, formed the foundation of many Upanishadic truths, including those found in the Isha Upanishad. While Ved Vyas is credited with compiling the Vedas and shaping the Mahabharata, the Upanishads were never written by a single author, they were heard, preserved, and passed forward in a way no book ever could be. How did it survive for thousands of years? Unlike written texts that crumble and fade, the Isha Upanishad survived through hearts and voices. It was memorized, recited by sages beneath sacred trees. It was sung, flowing through generations like a river that never dries. It was protected, not by ink, but by devotion, spoken in gurukuls, meditated upon by seekers, guiding even kings. Empires fell, invaders came, languages changed, but the words remained. Because truth, when heard through the soul, never dies. The Isha Upanishad does not belong to any one time, author, or place. It is a whisper from eternity, a song of renunciation, a call to see divinity in all things. And so, it has survived, not as history, but as reality itself. Mahatma Gandhi held the Isha Upanishad in profound reverence, considering it one of the most essential scriptures for understanding Hindu philosophy. He famously stated that if all Hindu scriptures were lost but the first verse of the Isha Upanishad remained, Hinduism would still thrive. Gandhi's interpretation of the Isha Upanishad. Gandhi's philosophy of trusteeship, renunciation, and selfless service was deeply influenced by the Upanishadic teachings. The verse he often quoted was, Ishavasimida savam yatkinch jagatya jagat. Ten tyaktin bhunjitha ma gridha kasyas vidhanam. Translation: everything in this moving world is pervaded by the divine. Enjoy life through renunciation. Do not covet, for whose is wealth. For Gandhi, this verse encapsulated the essence of Hinduism, the idea that all of existence is enveloped by the divine, and that true fulfillment comes not from possessing but from renouncing. He saw in it the foundation of non-attachment, a principle that guided his personal life and political philosophy. Gandhi interpreted the Upanishadic teaching as a call for social responsibility. He believed that wealth and resources were not meant for individual greed but should be held in trust for the welfare of all. This idea of trusteeship became central to his economic vision, advocating that industrialists and landowners should act as custodians rather than exploiters. The Upanishadic influence on Gandhi's life. His simple lifestyle reflected the principle of renunciation. His fight against materialism was rooted in the idea that wealth should not be hoarded. His vision of Sarvodaya, welfare for all, was inspired by the Upanishadic belief in universal unity. Gandhi's commentary on the Isha Upanishad was not just philosophical, it was practical, shaping his approach to politics, economics, and personal ethics. Isha Upanishad's 17 verses and their modern applications. Isha Vasyam idan sarvam yatkinch jagatya jagat. Ten tektin bhunjitha magridha kasyas vidhanam ek. Everything in this moving world is pervaded by the divine. Enjoy life through renunciation. Do not covet, for whose is wealth? This verse shatters the illusion that ownership truly exists. It urges us to see divinity in everything and live without attachment to possessions. Let's break it down in a modern way. Imagine you are standing in front of a grand mansion, admiring its beauty. The Upanishad says, it's not yours, but it's not theirs either. The universe belongs to no one, it is a shared existence. Instead of hoarding wealth or possessions, we should enjoy what comes naturally but without greed. A billionaire who clings to money fears loss, but a renunciant who owns nothing experiences true freedom. Humor twist. So basically, this verse is telling us, stop checking your bank balance every hour, none of it is truly yours anyway. The king's renunciation. A wealthy king once approached a sage, "O wise one, I have conquered vast lands. But still, I am restless. How can I find peace?" The sage smiled and asked, "Do you own all these lands?" "Yes, I do." The sage handed him a handful of dust and said, "Then hold on to this and never let go." The king clutched the dust tightly, but soon realized, it slipped through his fingers no matter how hard he held on. Just like this dust, no wealth or land is truly yours. You are merely its custodian. From that day, the king ruled with detachment, ensuring prosperity for his people rather than hoarding riches. Shankaracharya interpreted this verse as an affirmation of Advait, non-dualism, everything is Brahman, and the idea of personal ownership is an illusion. He emphasized that true freedom comes when one realizes, I am not separate from the world, I am the world. Swami Vivekananda, the power of renunciation. Vivekananda famously said, "Great things are done when men and mountains meet." He saw this Upanishadic wisdom as the foundation of strength, the ability to let go and fearlessly walk the path of service and spirituality. Kurvan evah karmani jijivishachatan samah. Evam tvai nanyatetosti na karm lipyate naredo. One should wish to live for 100 years, performing one's duties. By doing so, karma does not bind a person. This is the only way. The balance of action and detachment. This verse challenges a common misconception. Is renunciation about abandoning action? Absolutely not. The Upanishad clearly states that one must actively engage in work, without attachment to its results. Think of it as the perfect blend of karma and spirituality. Work tirelessly, but do not let the fruits of your efforts chain you. It echoes the Bhagavad Gita's teaching. Karma karo, phal ki chinta mat karo. Do your duty, without obsessing over the results. Humor twist. So basically, work hard, do your job, but don't stalk your LinkedIn profile every hour to see who endorsed your skills. The potter's wheel and the infinite motion. Imagine a potter's wheel, spinning endlessly. The potter shapes clay, but once formed, he does not cling to the pot, he moves to the next creation. Life is like this wheel, we must keep working, keep moving, yet not obsess over what we create or lose. Ancient sages often told a story of a farmer who worked day and night on his land but never worried about the yield. The village mocked him, saying, "Why do you toil without worry? What if your crops fail?" He simply smiled, "The land belongs to the divine, I belong to the divine. My duty is to work, the result is not mine to hold." And indeed, his crops flourished, as his detachment brought clarity and peace. Adi Shankaracharya, detached action leads to liberation. Shankaracharya viewed this verse as a bridge between karma and moksha. He argued that selfless action, without desire, purifies the soul and leads toward realization of the self, Atman. Dayanand Saraswati, the purpose of karma. Dayanand Saraswati expanded this verse into practical ethics, teaching that duty must be performed not for rewards, but as service to society. He linked it to dharma, arguing that social welfare, responsible governance, and moral actions align with divine principles. Small Orange Diamond APJ Abdul Kalam believed in karma yoga, working with discipline and humility. He said, dreams are not what you see in sleep, but what don't let you sleep. Lived fully, served till the last breath. This verse of the Isha Upanishad is a powerful philosophy for today's world. Small Blue Diamond, work diligently, but don't let results control you. Small Blue Diamond, live fully, without obsessing over longevity or success. Small Blue Diamond, detach from greed, embrace karma, and find freedom. It tells us that life's true purpose isn't in waiting for rewards, but in continuous effort and selfless service. Asurya naam te loka andhen tam savrita. Taste pratyabhigachanti ye ke chat mehno janaatin. Those worlds are devoid of the light of truth, covered in deep darkness. Those who kill their own self, Atman, enter such realms after death. The consequence of ignorance. This verse warns of the dark fate of those who abandon their inner self, people who live only for material gains, ignoring spiritual wisdom. The Upanishad does not speak of physical death, but of the death of consciousness, when a person lives without purpose, without seeking truth, and is trapped in ignorance. The worlds called Asurya, godless, demonic, are covered in blinding darkness. Those who kill their self go to these worlds after death. Think of it this way. A man has everything, wealth, fame, power. Yet, his life feels empty. His mind is restless. The Upanishad says, he has lost his true self, drowned in darkness. Humor twist, basically, it's the Upanishad way of saying, don't become a zombie chasing only money and status, you'll forget what truly matters. Welcome to Asurya Loka, brought to you by Wi-Fi, ads, and endless comparison. You didn't die, but you forgot who you really are. Imagine buying a Ferrari but never learning to drive. That's your life without knowing yourself. You are powerful, but unused, misdirected. The king who forgot his name. There was once a mighty king who conquered vast lands. One day, a sage asked him, "O king, what is your greatest possession?" The king laughed, listing his gold, palaces, and armies. The sage smiled and asked, "And what is your name?" The king paused. He had lived so long chasing power, he had forgotten his true self. The sage whispered, "You have lost the greatest treasure, your own identity. Your kingdom is vast, but your soul is empty." This is exactly what the verse warns against, losing oneself in external pursuits, forgetting the soul within. Once upon a time, there was a mighty king named Yayati, a ruler of great wisdom, yet a victim of his own cravings. He kept desiring youth and pleasures, swapping age with his son. But ultimately, he said, desire is never satisfied, like ghee on fire. He realized, the real joy isn't outside. The illusion of material success. Shankaracharya explained that those trapped in worldly attachments fall into spiritual blindness. They enter the dark worlds of ignorance, unable to break free. He saw this verse as a call to awaken, to seek Brahman instead of external desires. The importance of self-realization. Vivekanand believed that self-destruction is not physical but spiritual. It is when a person lives without higher ideals, purpose, or truth. He connected this verse to the idea that service and knowledge uplift the soul, while greed and selfishness destroy it. The role of dharma. Dayanand Saraswati saw this verse as a warning against unethical living. Those who abandon righteousness, dharma, fall into spiritual ruin. He argued that living without moral responsibility creates chaos, leading individuals into mental and emotional darkness. Buddha abandoned royal wealth after realizing that worldly pleasures lead to suffering. He left his palace not to escape, but to wake up. He saw everyone was dying slowly, unaware of truth. Steve Jobs spoke about seeking meaning beyond success in his later years. Tolstoy After achieving global fame, he felt empty until he turned toward spiritual reflection. This verse is a wake-up call. It tells us that small blue diamond wealth without wisdom leads to inner darkness. Small blue diamond self-destruction is not physical, but the loss of purpose and truth. Small blue diamond real success comes from knowing the self, not chasing material illusions. Anijad ekam manso javio nanadeva apnuvan purvamarshat. Tadhavto jnanateti tishtat tasmin apo matrishva dadhati char. The self, Atman, is unmoving yet faster than the mind. The gods cannot reach it, as it is beyond their grasp. It moves ahead of all, yet remains still. All existence, including the cosmic forces, is sustained within it, beyond time and space. This verse presents a paradox. How can something be unmoving yet faster than the mind? The Upanishad speaks of the eternal self, Atman, which is beyond the limits of time, space, and movement. The mind is fast, it jumps from thought to thought in an instant. Yet, the Atman is beyond thought, beyond motion, it is always present, unaffected, infinite. Even gods, symbolizing cosmic forces, cannot catch it, for it is before all existence. It suggests that truth is not found in chasing things, it is already here, within us, unchanging and eternal. Humor twist, basically, it's like Wi-Fi, you can't see it, but it's everywhere and connects everything. If the soul were Wi-Fi, the router, self, never moves. The signals, mind senses, run around the house. But no matter where you go, you are always in range of the source. The race between the mind and the self. Once, a disciple asked his master, "Can I catch the self?" The master smiled and said, "First, try catching your own thoughts." The disciple closed his eyes, watching his mind jump from one thought to another, memories, worries, plans. "It's impossible," he said. The master replied, "That is why the self is beyond the mind. It does not chase, it simply is." This verse reminds us that true wisdom is not about chasing, but realizing the presence of the eternal within us. Everyday relevance. We chase speed, faster phones, faster careers, faster money. But the eternal truth, the soul, doesn't run, it's already everywhere. True power is stillness inside, not constant outer motion. Stillness is the new superpower. Nachiketa asked, "What survives after death?" Yam replied, "That which is faster than thought, yet never moves, your true self." Atman is beyond motion and thought. Shankaracharya explained that Atman is not bound by time or movement. He described it as the witnessing consciousness, unchanging, eternal, present everywhere, never needing to travel anywhere. The limitless power of the soul. Vivekananda believed this verse showed the true nature of man, not weak, not limited, but powerful beyond imagination. He taught that recognizing the self's infinite nature leads to courage and fearlessness. What this means in action. Dayanand Saraswati linked this verse to self-realization and leadership. He taught that leaders must be still within, not frantic, not chasing things, but deeply anchored in their purpose. Einstein understood that time is relative, but existence itself is beyond time. Raman Maharshi argued that searching for the self is unnecessary, because it has always been present. Mahatma Gandhi. There is a force in the universe, which, if we permit it, will flow through us and produce miraculous results. This verse points exactly to that force, unmoving, yet the source of all action. This verse reminds us, small blue diamond, stop chasing, true realization is already within you. Small blue diamond, the mind moves fast, but the self is beyond speed, beyond limitations. Small blue diamond, be still, yet limitless, the power of the Atman is beyond time and space.